Good afternoon from Sydney Harbour for the final day and the final heat of the 2025 JJ Giltinan World Championship. It's hot, it's steamy, and yes, we have a westerly breeze blowing, which is tricky to say the least, and it's extremely hot and the breeze is not great at the moment, and you think that it'll play a lot of tricks. But anyway, on behalf of the Sail Media team, Peter Shipway welcoming you to this final day of racing for the 18-footers this year, and Dolly DeVola and Jimmy Bury with you, along with the Sail Media camera team. And we could have a really tricky day, and a few things have happened overnight, but before we get into that, let's say good afternoon to Dolly. And Dolly, I don't know whether you can pick the weather, but it's going to be tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Pete. Good afternoon, viewers. Yeah, when you say tricky, Pete, it is definitely going to be tricky. We had a northwest forecast, but at the moment we're very much around in the west, and it's gusting. We've seen readings of 23 knots down on the wedding cake. We're not seeing that where we are now, but from where we're sitting, we've probably got about 5 knots in front of us, and looking up past Bradley's Head, it almost looks like there's just a heat haze with no wind. We do have an outgoing tide till 4:30 down to 0.4, a lot of water movement. But as you say, Pete, I think you'd have to be Nostradamus to predict what this breeze is going to do.
Well, the starting officials have course number 5 flying from the committee boat at the moment. And as we say good afternoon to you, Jimmy, just run us through that course 5 if it stays as such. Thank you.
G'day, Shibbo. Yeah, we're meant to be starting down Rose Bay, but there's a bit of traffic down there, so we're just starting west of Shark Island. The guys work their way up to a mark laid up at Carrabba Point, then run down to Clark Island, down into Rose Bay, work back up to Carrabba Point, run back down to Rose Bay, up to Carrabba Point, and then we finish in the vicinity of Clark Island, just out the front of the club.
All port roundings, so thank you, Jimmy. Well, what did happen overnight? And we can tell you this, that yesterday in the 8th heat, just after the start, we saw a crash between Finport, Keegan York, and ASCC, Eli Leifting from New Zealand. We might just have a look at what happened. It was about only a minute or so after the start as they approached Bradley's Head. Okay, well, here we go. There's a boat coming up on starboard, then they both ducked, and then they got tangled up together. And the race was over for both of those boats. Shaw and Partners was the starboard tack boat. He had no problem at all. He had every right to be there. And those boats went for a duck. But here we go, in slow motion. To windward ASCC, to leeward Finport. And Finport ended up with ASCC on top of them. So, what happened? The jury decided that Finport would be disqualified. Yes, disqualified. And ASCC would get average points. So that meant that 29 points were allocated to Finport and 8.4 points to ASCC. But there's still, as in 18-foot racing, there's always surprises. And the surprise is that Finport, Keegan York, has got the protest reopened. But when we left the dock, no one knows what the outcome of that was. I think the jury was still scratching their heads or meeting. But at the moment, all we can tell you is that they were disqualified initially. Whether they'll get any more redress or just a penalty, we do not know. But with that still standing, we might have a look at the points after the disqualification of Finport. ASCC 8.4. So there is the point score. So Yandu is leading with the drop on 15.7. But one thing happened to Yandu. In Heat 6, they were penalised 20% for going inside the moorings. That was appealed or re-looked at, and the jury decided instead of giving them a 20% penalty, they'd give them a 30% penalty. So that only been 18-foot racing this could happen. So the penalty rose from 12.8, I think, to 15.7. It is still their drop. So this point score is with the drop. Yandu at the moment 15, Finport 24. So a 9-point differential. Then Rag and Famish on 30. Then the two New Zealanders, SeaTech on 39. ASCC on 42.4. Closely finished, followed by Smeg. Black Knight 7th. Balmain 8th. 9th, Marine Outlet. And 10th is Shore and Partners. And also out of yesterday, Lazarus took a penalty for a misdemeanor. And also another boat, Team Victoria, took a penalty. So there was plenty happening overnight for the jury. But at the moment, it's a clear lead to Yandu on the point score. So we're going to say it is staying as it is, unless we hear otherwise at the moment. But the breeze here at the start, when we've got about just over 12 minutes to go, it is light westerly, big sail breeze, and it's a day, Dolly, that you can find yourself in a lot of holes and a lot of tricks could play out.
Yeah, very much so, Pete. It'll depend a hell of a lot on what course Hugh Lester decides to put the boats on. So I think we touched on before, we have the option of doing course 5, or he might choose to do a Windward Leeward course. My thoughts that if we do the course 5, it will open the race up to, let's say, a lot more possibilities. Possibilities both between Finport and Yandu and also Rag and Famish. Like you say, the points are pretty even, but these guys are still going to duke it out because it's not an undoable task to overcome the points deficit. So the course 5 will give options, whereas if we do the Windward Leeward, the straight upwind, downwind doesn't really present too many opportunities.
Tightens it up a lot. But at the moment, Finport is the only boat that can unseat Yandu at the top of the leaderboard. The rest do not have a chance of doing that. But while we wait for 10 minutes or so to the start, for the last time we say hello to a lot of our friends, Mick, Ralph, Ian Barnard, Yankee Express, Rollo. No, Rollo, we're not interested in the sea breeze and the Fremantle Doctor.
We could do with it here, Rollo.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 minutes, Hooters just gone, the Yankee Express. Ettalong Beach Premium Apartments. Hello for the Gosford Sailing Club. Winston 905, Frederick Mueller. He's there from the east coast of the USA. Yes, race 9 is the last. Andrew Coots, 20 knots in Melbourne. Well, we wish we had that here. Dave Grogan's there. Frederick Mueller. He's there. Todd Martin, Nipper Henderson, Graham Long. All our regulars. And who else do we got? Who else do we have? Dave Kleinman's there. Then Russell Moore is there. So thank you. We can't thank you enough. Norm Anderson is there. Jim Walsh is there. Stuart Brown's there. Ward Brooks. Loffy from Adelaide, always there. Pete Firminga's there. Kurt Snowden. Gary Leaf. Drew Peacock, Alan Mansfield, Tim Metcalf, and so on and so forth. So thank you. And also, we say hello to our little friends in the UK that watch us each week. The Lyons family, Heidi and Austin, and Tim from the Ullswater Yacht Club in the UK. Hello to you, or good morning to you guys, I guess. Early morning over there. And we're a lot of heat here in Sydney. What's the water temperature, Jimmy, please?
25.7. It was 26.2 6 on the way over this morning, so
35 degrees air temperature, so pretty hot. A couple of little shout outs from me, shippers. One to Pete Harding, who tunes in every week. He's been a bit crook. Also Kira Ryan, but I also wanted to say a very happy birthday to 2 18-foot Skiff sailors, one having a little year off this year, but Cameron McDonald from Skiff Ropes. Everyone knows Cameron. Long-time Skiff sailor and works on all the boats. Happy birthday, Cameron. And also it's Jacob Marks' birthday
18.
from 6.
18 today.
I could not believe he is only 18 either.
I think he's the youngest skipper in the fleet. He's not the youngest person sailing. I think Max Nern, sailing with his father Simon, is slightly younger than Jacob. But Jacob leaves next week, as we said yesterday, for the part of the 49er Australian team for the lead-up regatta in Palma. But we're just at the starting area. That's beautiful Point Piper in the background, and it's a lot of sort of choppy water with a few powerboats and sailing from Wallara Sailing Club.
Well, Josh, you're coming good.
And that's the starting area. Not much breeze. What do we got, Dole? Be lucky to be 6 knots.
Yeah, 5-6 knots. So Jimmy had a reading of 8 knots from the top mark, Pete. So
Well,
from the mark set bot, which currently we presume is up near Caraba Point. And Jimmy, I'm assuming if they haven't got a course board on the back of the boat, would indicate that we're probably doing course 5, yeah?
there's another way to look, Dol.
There's
an
a
orange flag with number 5
there it is,
on it.
flags
There's
up.
the clue.
There you go. I was looking at the back of the boat, not looking at the flag.
No, the
So we're gonna-
do it a bit differently, mate.
So we're going to do a little bit of a tour of the upper harbour.
And Shibbo's favourite boats in prime viewing spot.
You had to mention it, didn't you?
no comment yet. He may win the annual award, this bloke, but I'll see how we go when I hand out awards at the end of the day. So Heat 9 and remembering the only boat that can challenge Yandu for top of the list is Finport, but it's a massive ask. But in these tricky conditions, anything is possible. Yandu has won 6 of the 8 races, had a 9th in the other, and then was penalised in the race 6, costing 15.7 points.
Yeah.
And while we're just waiting for the start today, a little earlier, I spoke to the skipper of Marine Outlet, Josh Porebski, and this is what Josh had to say.
End of the regatta, wrong end, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit too little, too late. But we've been enjoying the last few races. We're quite a big team, so we need a bit more breeze to get going. But yeah.
But you only stepped on at Marine Outlet at the last minute, didn't you?
Yeah, a last minute replacement for John Cooley. But it's been a good week. We've had our moments and a few breakages, but getting around the course.
Now, a couple of years ago, you were runner-up in this JJ's on Merce from New Zealand, because you are a Kiwi, aren't you?
Yeah, originally, yeah. Still a Kiwi. But yeah, first regatta was ages ago. We had to get the course sheet out around the top mark to remember we didn't know where to go. But it was a nor'easter course, but it was awesome. Awesome regatta. It's been a few years, 18 so.
And it looks going to be tricky today, doesn't it, in this sort of breeze with a bit of a westerly component in it?
Yeah, very tricky. Yeah, nor'easter and pretty light out there at the moment. But hopefully it swings around and comes in a little bit. And
Yandu's been pretty impressive winning all those heats, haven't they?
Been amazing, yeah. Super consistent and just keeping it simple, and everyone else is sort of can be overcomplicating the racing. But yeah, hats off to them. They've started really well.
And you're the coach for the Australian 49er squad, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
And you're off this week to Palma?
Yeah, this week we're going to Palma, Mallorca. We've got our first regatta into March, start April. So yeah, take 5 teams over. A few of the 18-foot skiff guys are sailing. We've got Jacob Marks on 6th.
He's in the squad, yeah.
Yeah, he's steering a boat. Harry Price is steering a boat, sailing with Max. So it was a good team, and everyone's pretty new combinations in the 49. So yeah.
And then you do a lot of regattas throughout the northern summer?
Yeah, we do. There's about 4 or 5 regattas overseas, but this first year of the sort of next Olympics is a bit slow, so it'll ramp up as it continues on.
So you're looked at as the medal maker, is that right?
I guess so. Come back in a few years.
Heads will roll.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck, Josh, today, and good luck overseas.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, as we come back to you with just over 3 minutes to go, it's light, it's fluky, and the fleet are lining up, and the pin end looks favoured, Dol, doesn't it, I think, at the moment. It's hard to say in this breeze. A lot of chop here, bouncing back off Shark Island. We're just to the west of Shark Island. There's Shark Island, just behind the starting line. And the Windward mark, can we see the Windward mark? Jimmy, have you got that?
Yeah, I did see it. It's just like literally about midway along from where we're looking now, about midway along the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron.
Okay, it's a fairly long beat. So final heat about to get underway. Yandu, the clear leader on points. Finport, the only boat that can upset him.
We've got Yandu and Finport in the last minute and a half have been engaging in a little bit of a match racing cat and mouse game here, shippers. Your viewers could see them on screen there a minute ago, just trying to tag each other and pin each other with a penalty.
There they are.
Yeah.
There's Yandu coming up astern of Finport. Countdown on for 2 minutes.
Yandu went very close to getting a leeward hook on Finport before. But now assuming a weather position on top of Finport, surprisingly.
Yeah, just got to keep their nose clean, really. That's the first rule.
1, 2, 3 lined up.
Yes, indeed. There's the fleet. There's Shark Island. You can see how close they are to it. Okay, the final heat about to get underway. This World Championship, final race for the year for the 18-footers. The ribbon is being placed on this afternoon. This winning group are the sponsors of this title. Minute and a half to go in the final heat. And Yandu up the windward end. Vycobi's up there. Finport's up there. Rag and Famish are up there. All together. Throw a blanket over them. Not much wind. It's got even lighter if that's possible, Dolly. There's 5 knots at best, I think.
At best, at the moment.
Yandu's tacked onto port here at the committee boat end.
Couldn't hold a line there.
No,
he's going to have to get out.
He's going to bail out and have another go. A 1 minute hooter goes. So he's going back. He's going to start behind the fleet. Come in late at the committee boat, I would think. Off camera now. There's Sixth, the birthday boy. Fleet just holding on. Rags tacking in the middle of the line too on port. Yandu playing very safe. There they are. It is light. As you can see, it is very light. Right down the leeward end are ASCC, the New Zealander. Lazarus is down there, the Hoofler House. Well up on the line, the Hoofle boys. Hoofler. 15 seconds to go. No one's really rumbling yet. There's not enough breeze to rumble. Yandu late at the committee boat.
Heffler House has to be over at that
You'd
leeward
think so.
end.
We can't even see the pin. Okay, we're away. Yandu did pretty well at the committee boat. Vycobi missed it badly.
They're thinking about they've gone general.
General recall.
They had the hand on the individual and discussed it for a couple of seconds and decided to go general, Pete.
Yeah, well, I would assume in this breeze that is not much. We'll see the dreaded black flag, and we'll do it all again. And the fleet, they've hardly got 1 string, let alone 2, let alone 3. There's a few more people joining us now. Simon Farthing's there, Mr. Kim Possible, Rod Daly, Beachcomber, Graham Bennett. While we wait for this second start, Stephen Spruce. Who else?
Shippo, I can just say I'm loading the black flag in.
So
of course they are.
But that's really going to, if those Finport and Yandu get into the jousting match prior to it, it also leaves for someone to be pushed over.
It does, Jimmy. You've played this game before.
Played it many a time.
A few people have just joined us and asked what happened yesterday in the Finport ASCC incident. At the moment, Finport was disqualified. ASCC awarded average points. But when I say at the moment, there may be a case that they're going to reopen that and hear it Keegan York is trying to get it reopened to here, but hear it and try and get average points, I guess. But we haven't heard any outcome of that at the moment. But this breeze is getting lighter, if anything, Dol.
Sure is, Pete. It doesn't look very inviting at all. And it looks to me the further we get up the course,
the worse it is.
The worse it is, yeah.
So
and just on the protest, Pete, a lot of people have been questioning what ruling took place. And the rule is 19.2b. Rule 19 is fairly clear, but it was 2b. And that's with regards to giving room to get around an obstruction. So for those who are wondering why ASCC being a windward boat, keep clear, that doesn't apply in this situation. It's giving room at an obstruction.
So I'm wondering whether we're going to get a race in here. This, as I say, this breeze is starting to collapse all over the harbour. It's super hot. There's a big, strong southerly due around midnight, but that's no good to this fleet. Well, no good to cool the weather down, but at the moment it is light and it's just in the west, 4 or 5 knots. And we're coming up for the second start. There's the black flag up, the 5 red flags down, out of their flagpole. The black flag just being untangled so everyone can see it.
Be great if we could postpone till tomorrow. We've got a 25 knot southerly and we haven't had the best of breezes for the JJ this year.
No, we haven't seen any southerly breeze at all.
Southerly would be nice in this weather, Dolph.
Oh, mate, it's for those at home who aren't in Sydney, it is really hot and humid.
Super hot. There's Finport and Yandu. Surprise, surprise. Tom Needham with a red hat standing up.
And Harry Price always wanting to be the antagonist is getting himself mixed up in there as well. So stand by. There could be some fireworks. There they are.
It's hardly enough wind to get the battens across to set properly. It is hardly any wind at all, is there? The boats are moving. They'll get off the starting line, but it's going to be a long race. Time-wise, that's for sure. It's a long race. Distance-wise, at the best of times, but you can see the fleet hardly moving at the moment.
As you say, Pete, it's really shutting down and looking further up the course. It's not looking much better. Maybe 4 or 5 knots at the moment.
Yandu now in the middle. There's Finport close by.
Giving chase.
Anyway, Yandu's tacked. What's Finport doing? Finport's tacked.
Both boats with crews that have got match racing experience, so the dance is on.
Now we've got 240, and right up this windward end is Smeg, the handicap leader, just by 1 point on handicap, which over Shaw and Partners, Emma Rankin, and then Honda Marine in third. So tight on the handicap point score, but on the main point score for the big one, it's between Yandu and Finport. Yandu in the driver's seat. Just a bit of yelling starting, coming up to 2 minutes. Where are the big players? Finport's just behind the rag there. Where's Yandu? Have we seen him? Somewhere. He's there. I tell you, he's right down away from Finport. He's in the middle of the line. There's a big group up at the weather end. Just see those light spots on the harbour. There's very little wind, but there's a little bit more looking at Bradley's head now. Dole's gone from about 4.5 knots to about 4.8 knots, I think. So it's a massive increase. Gotcha for life. The weather end. How long we got? Minute 25.
Even though it's light, they're just trying to wash off a bit of time here and very hard to keep the bow getting up into the wind in this situation. So they're just trying to keep those bows away without advancing forward at the moment. It's a pretty tricky situation.
Well, it's a black flag start. I mean, if you're over, it's all over. You go home. There's no second chance here. It's 1 minute. Consequently, there's no recall. We'll have to get in touch with the starter if there was. We think there's anyone over. He'd let us know, but there's no recall. Flag goes up. It's very clear cut. Black flag up, over, it's all over. And down the leeward end is ASCC. Marine Outlets down there. C-Tech, Lazarus and Balmain. They're in the bottom third of the line. A fair gap down to the pin, though. Hanging back. There's Yandu. You can see him in the middle there. The white sails well back. No chances on Yandu. He doesn't have to roll the dice at all. Just got to be clean. 12 seconds. Oh, the rag are getting a bit close to it. Royal Oak 4 Pines up at this windward end. They'll be okay. 4 seconds. I think we're good.
Yeah, clear start.
It looked clear from where we were, and we're pretty much in line. Rag jumped out nicely with Smeg at the weather end. Also got you for life. Got a nice start. Yandu a little buried in the middle of the line. Balmain did nicely down at the leeward end also. Now Smeg is a boat that goes well in this light air. They like this big sail breeze in light winds. So we're away on the final heat after a black flag start. Yandu very much buried. Finport got a clear lane. So Yandu a bit of work to do, but it's a long course to do it in. But the breeze now is a little bit more, probably a knot or two more than where we had it about 10 minutes ago. Just looking up near Clark Island, a few little puffs rolling down, we're away. A long beat now up into Carrabba Point. Yandu has tacked.
Yeah, they had to get out of there. They were in some pretty dirty air.
The breeze is clocking to the right a little. They've seen that and they want to get across to the right.
Pressure over at Bradley's head
the
there,
boats have started down at the pin. They're all bow up. So the right would be favoured at the moment. And those boats up there in the right are Gotcha for Life, Smeg and the Rag and Famish. And Finport's right in the mix too. And the breeze is starting to come in a little bit here. That's the good news. Probably got about 6 knots. Came in at just the right time. 6th is tacking away, the birthday boy. He's going back. He's probably in the top half dozen or so. But the news is Yandu is well back. The breeze is in and it's lifting in the right. So there's Finport and Rag.
Yandu heading to the side of the course where there's the most breeze, I think, though, Pete. So they will find a lane out of there. They should come back.
We're looking upwind. There's a yacht right up near where the windward mark is. He's well heeled. So that's a good sign.
Currently getting 11.1 knots at the top mark.
11 knots, okay, thank you. That's good news. Okay, here's Yandu, still on port. 3 on the wire, I think. That's good sign for everyone. Yeah, there's more breeze across the course here now. We can see it.
The most is in the right, and it's lifting from the right. So
typical Westerly, isn't it?
Yeah, Yandu heading. Finport also on a nice line. You can see them there now with Rag and Famish. So they're both in pressure and lifting on starboard tack.
Yeah, Westerly's on Sydney Harbour. One of the hardest breezes to sail in. It's puffy, it's shifty, and we've got all of that today. But at the moment, the breeze is up. Very good breeze, probably close to 10 knots here. Wow, that is good sailing breeze now.
All boats pulling 3 on wire now consistently. But we'll see when we get to the top. As Jimmy said, we've got 11 at the top mark at the moment. Hopefully that's still there when we get there.
Well, these
it's a westerly, Dolph. It's not going to be there.
So these boats, Balmain, ASCC and the boat above them, they all started down towards the pin. And they're looking for something to go back on as they're approaching to Clark Island. There's the Bigfoot. He's the most leeward boat, or left-hand boat. Kobe above him. And there's another apparition going down the race course. Anyway, I think he's got a bit of a lane to go down there. So where's Yandu? He's way out in the right.
And
boy, oh boy.
Yeah, he's gone a little bit too far. It looks like it's dropped out over there a bit, doesn't it,
way
Jimmy?
in the right.
There was pressure there, but he kept taking it out to the right. It's a long way across. The lead group in the left, it looks like the Black Knight and Finport are probably leading
the two leaders, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got light. ASCC's just, the breeze has collapsed on him. Welcome to Wesley, boys, on the harbour.
A big header too, Pete.
Big header. There's Yandu coming back, not on anything great. It's gone back into the left again.
Finport have Balmain have tacked onto a nice line of breeze there, but they're going to get smacked in the face in a minute with the big header. It's not going to last, I don't think.
Sorry to say, guys, ASCC hasn't run out of puff. It
No,
looks
they've
like
run
their
something.
wing has broken.
Oh dear.
I wonder if that's a result of yesterday's collision, perhaps. Yeah, they're in real trouble. They have stopped. Oh dear, that is a shame for those boys. Currently fourth on fifth on the point score. Already carried a bad position.
Oh, Jimmy, it has really broken, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel really sorry for those guys.
Yeah, they're in all sorts
good
of
young
trouble.
team.
You can see it. Yeah,
Eli lifting, he'll be very disappointed.
just collapsed there. There's the broken wing.
And that is the side of the boat they had the collision with yesterday, so must have been a fracture there that they hadn't noticed.
How hard is it to notice the fracture there, Dol, being an old boat builder yourself?
Well, normally you can see a microfracture, or even a microfracture, let alone a fracture, so I don't know how well they looked over the boat, but I guess they figured it was still in one piece. They may not have had a problem.
Well, what I can tell you, all our viewers, that Yandu is back in about 15th place. And we've got probably the Black Knight leading, Finport, Kitchen Maker, Balmain, Wealth, Rag and Famish, Lazarus, Kobe, 6. Who else? Someone else down there, Smeg, I think. Then the Bigfoot, C-Tech, Marine Outlet, and then Yandu. So, has this opened a door for Finport? The breeze now dropped away a little bit, probably about 8 knots. Halfway up the first beat. Oh, there's a boat going down the middle, making things difficult for a few boats.
He pulled up and let those boats through kindly, so not too bad a job from that fella. But we've got Black Knight and Finport high on port tack. So far, so good for those guys.
In the distance in Athol, furthest in is Rag and Famish. They've all got good pressure there. Yandu's really giving them a start. He's got to try to do, I think, is get clear air. He's quick enough and the breeze is up, that's for sure. But he's a long way back. I think Rag will lead, actually.
Yeah, we won't know until we get at intersection, but he is advancing out well there. Black Knight just can't hold pace at the moment.
There's
with Finport.
Yandu, well behind Lazarus. And the Akarana Retreat, we haven't seen him this far back in the contest. That is for sure. But here is the leading group. Black Knight prominent. Heinrich von Bayern. His father's the Prince. He's out today on the Hopeton, Lady Hopeton. Beautiful old historical vessel. And there's more breeze coming as we approach the weather mark. Look at this, Dol. It's in the right. It's fresh. It's probably 10 knots plus.
We said this course can throw curveballs. Boats can get, these lead boats could get around here with some pressure and scoot away, and the rest of the fleet could park up behind them, or vice versa.
2/3 of the first beat almost done, and we're still not sure who's in front between Rag, Finport or the Black Knight.
In a Sydney Westerly, there's absolutely no certainties until you cross the finish line.
The rag is tacked. Coming back on starboard. And I
Going to be pretty close with
think
Finport.
Finport's taking a stern here.
Yeah.
So Rag is in front of Finport and also the Black Knight. So Harry Price is in front in the Rag with Max Paul and Finn Rodowitz. Below the ley line, port rounding of this weather mark.
And they've judged that beautifully, Pete. They sailed all the way up here on a port hand lift, and they've tacked on to,
just starting
to knock, aren't they?
You see the shifty Wesley, Finport up, Rag down, Finport will come bow down in a moment. Tacking behind them, that's Vycobi, I think, and to the right is the Black Knight, so that's probably the top four. And where's Yandu? That's the question.
Way down in line with Bradley's Head, between us and Bradley's Head, Pete. There's a lot of boats between them and this top group.
And a lot of distance too. So we go around this mark and then down towards, over towards Clark Island and then back to Rose Bay. Port roundings. The breeze here at the weather mark the first time, probably 8 knots. And Rag and Famish will lead. Third on the point score. Cannot win the regatta, but could certainly consolidate the top 3 position here. And a lovely judgment from Harry Price here.
Jimmy's about to tell you what there is at the top, Mark.
6.6 knots, Shippo.
Okay.
We might have been blocking it.
Don't forget, Rag and Famish won Heat 6 of the championship. Second yesterday, and he's a nice little gap here as he rounds the first mark. He's on his way to Clark Island. See Finn and Max really charging into their work. Great set. As they race down towards Clark. Will they get down in one? Might they? Depends. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I think there'll probably be a bit of...
Here's the boat that could possibly win the championship. Finport, he's around in second. The big question will be, where is Yandu? I can tell you he's a fair way back. Okay, Balmain, Henry Larkins, he's around third. And the breeze is... A lot of these boats have overlaid here. If we see them coming in, they've gone too far. And there's Smeg, Nathan McNamara, he is fourth. Then Black Knight 5. 6 is 6th. Vycobi is 7. Wow, this is not looking good for Yandu. Kitchen Maker. Vycobi's around. Then the Kitchen Maker. Team Victoria. Honda will be not there yet. He's got a tack. He's got Wealth coming up. Got to get boy room here. There's Yandu still.
This is going to get ugly. Oh, just made it.
Okay, Wealth's around, or are they? Not really. Wealth is... It's Honda Marine, rather. Honda Marine are struggling. Then the Bigfoot. So where is Yandu? Boy, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th perhaps. This is very interesting as far as the title is concerned. Honda's just getting around now. Akarana Eatery in front of them. Lazarus, Marine Outlet, back a bit. Josh Porebski, C-Tech, and now Yandu. Work to do from Tom Needham, Louis Brake and Fang Warren. Then Gotcha for Life.
One thing I do know, Pete, those boys won't panic. They'll just get their work done and work their way through the fleet.
And well back ashore in partners, that's for sure.
Boats in the way here.
Bit of luffing going on here. Oh, Marine Outlet and Yandu. Keep it up, Tommy. Okay, Marine Outlet. were speaking yesterday about Marine Outlet, and they didn't think they had their vang on. We realised they must have had a problem, that their gooseneck had failed.
Is that what it was?
That's what, yeah, they broke their gooseneck, which meant the boom was held in position at the mast. So it wasn't actually the vang, but it was the.
They couldn't pull the vang on because it would have just broken worse. Yeah.
No, well, Cam said he couldn't feel his hands, and Charlie had to help him out on the sheet. That's
how much load was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a one-legged run. It's no one's really jiving. They're laying down to this.
Rag and Famish has done very well, Pete.
Judged it perfectly. Gets his nose in front. Harry's really hard to beat. His tactics are good. Crew work's excellent. Just had a wobbly start to this regatta. He's almost at the jive mark. See the jive mark there? There's the Rag at the jive mark now. Nice lead over Finport's got lighter down here. The race is on. The race is on for Yandu. Can they pull something out to get back into this contest? The moment they're out of it.
Next in will be Finport. They're very soft approaching this mark. Very, very soft. Meanwhile, Rag is jived on a little bit of breeze and scooting away.
So the live points at the moment, we've got Pythagoras working for us. Finport is the series leader, but let me say, it's a long way to go. It's a tricky breeze. Don't count your chickens yet. Here's the Rag well in front. Jumped away there at that run.
And in this lighter air, I was expecting good things of Balmain and Smeg, and they're delivering so far. Great to see from the young guys.
It's got light again here, Dole. Very light.
Rag just managed to get a little bit of breeze and some depth. He's just gaining and gaining distance on the boys, getting away. But the critical thing for Finport is the number of boats in between them and Yandu.
Well, away in the distance, Rag and Famish has ridden a puff right down, and she's absolutely opened up a massive lead over Finport, who's really soft. Okay, well, here's the trailing pack, and there's Yandu. Had to go high, so they've turned this into a VMG run, whereas the Rag got down in one, Finport in one, Balmain in one, Smeg fourth, there's Finport in second. But hunting up now for pressure. See how light it is now. And this disadvantaged Yandu, this light jibing downwind now.
But what can just as easily happen is they can jibe at this wing mark on a bit of pressure, and they get the depth while everyone in front of them's lifting up. Looks like Finport just managing to pick up a little bit of a zephyr and get some depth now. Jacob Marks here in sixth, the birthday boy.
Yep, he's
going very well. He likes this light breeze.
He's got himself to fifth.
Looks like he's charging into fourth, Pete.
Yeah, he's just running faster and lower than Smeg. But right away at the front, the Rag is absolutely bolted. She got one puff, as you do in a Wesley, and just rode it down right into Rose Bay. Can we see that Leeward mark, Jimmy? Is it can't
just
see.
Around the moored yachts in front of us, Shippo. So we're just going to slowly mosey on down.
You can just see it through the moorings there, Pete. Yeah. So
okay.
I think they'll have a jibe to do.
Absolutely, they'll have to jibe. Port rounding down the bottom. So Balmain third. That's Finport in front of them, but they're all bow up.
They're just starting to get a little bit and being able to get away. A lot better than they were 500 metres ago. Smeg and six still soft, whereas Finport and Balmain just picking up a little bit of breeze. But as you say, Pete, Rag and Famish, They've scooted away.
We'll
For
get
the
it down
fans at
right.
home, there's Yandu just approaching the mark in 15th spot.
But what can happen is boats can just park up, get in a hole, and the rest of the boats bring breeze down with them. So this race is a long way from over. Finport, look at the breeze they're on, and we're looking at Balmain. They're just about to pick it up. There's Finport now. They're bow down and almost laying through to the mark at the moment. 3 strings. That's what I mean. Just a gust can make a big difference. Meanwhile, Rag and Famish have gone round the mark in very light air. Finport rapidly closing the gap. There they are now, both on shot. Rag and Famish have tacked onto the breeze that Finport's bringing down with them. So they'll start to accelerate upwind there, start to minimise the damage.
Yeah, that's good puff, isn't it? As you say, for Keegan York and his team. Matt Stedron.
Feel the heat in that gust. Hot.
Matty Stedder and Gus Williams. It is super hot. So, where is Yandu? We'll try and... Yandu round that jibe mark? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they rounded that mark in 15th spot, Pete.
But they're still in the light air, and we've just got Balmain into the pressure now, looking at them now with their white spinnaker. They don't have their orange one. But the trailing boats behind them haven't managed to pick up that same little vein of pressure. It's coming to them, but it's not there yet.
The Finport around and up to the weather mark again at Caraba Point. And after that, it's a back down here to Rose Bay. So Balmain clear third. They've had a good regatta. They ripped their spinnaker on day, what day was that? Day race 7. Had to retire, but otherwise they've been pretty consistent.
Yeah, they've had a bit of bad luck, Pete. Bit of bad luck.
Yeah.
They did cop that. They had to cop that 20% penalty over an infringement. But yeah, the young guys are doing well.
So I'm getting a lot of mixed messages out of the 18-footer club. I won't relay them to you, but because no one really seems to know what is going on as far as the point score is concerned. But we'll tell you what we've got, and we'll see how it plays out later as watching Smeg under a little bit of pressure as Yandu right in the pack. Meanwhile, at the Leeward mark, Smeg's around. Nathan McNamara, nice rounding. Then 6th. So Smeg 4, 6th, 5th. And they're coming out in a good pressure. Smeg, there's 6th. Next will be... Who have we got next? That's
Team Victoria.
Victorians, yep, with the Tech 2 shot, kite.
The Loon 2.
The Loon 2.
And that's the black chute belongs to the Black Knight. Oh, Yandu just can't get wriggling. It's hard, isn't it? Very hard. So approaching the mark, Team Victoria. It's Dave and Scott Cunningham and Brodie Riley. They're round.
Excellent drop there from
Nice.
Dave Cunningham under
Okay.
pressure.
There's a bit of pressure for the Black Knight. Heinrich, his father, the Prince, out watching. He raced in one of the historical 18-footers yesterday on the Yendies. Okay, the Black Knight's around. Kitchen Maker. They're the partner for today. The Kitchen Maker, all their sponsors are here. Now Wealth. Then Wealth is around, bit wobbly, big foot with the mauve chute is around. Then Lazarus. Oh, then you can see still around is Yandu. They've still got a jibe left. Okay, Lazarus round. Then C-Tech. Akarana Retry, Vycobi, still got the Spinnaker up. They got a bit of trouble. That's coming down now. And then Yandu. Who would have thought?
By my count, about 15th, Pete.
Might be enough, but he's got to get up there into probably single-figure placings.
That's not enough.
No, probably single-figure placings. Okay, job now on for Yandu. The good news for him, though, I guess, is that as he tacks away, he'll probably chase a few rainbows here. There's breeze coming down the course. Still light, he's tacked in, not much.
And down, heading.
Yeah, but there is breeze coming around Point Piper where he's heading. He's down, bow down. Okay, Honda's around. Marine Outlet, he's back a lot. Then Shaw and Partners, Emma's back. And then a colourful array of Spinnakers coming down. It's like the Rainbow Nation. There's blue, there's a red one somewhere, there's a yellow one. And there's a green one. Look at that. There's a good rainbow shot for you. The Shaw and Partners go round. Next around the... Who's this?
Skiff
Ropes.
Oh, Skiff Ropes. Rockstar.
And
Behind him,
Marine.
Goat Marine.
Skiff
And
Ropes.
Breezy now.
Skiff Ropes, Rockstar have also had Harkin come on board for this the last few days.
Need a few more blocks, do they? That'll be good sponsorship. Oh, the breeze spiky now. Boy, oh boy. We're up to most we've seen of the race. 11, 12 knots. And the job in front of Yandu. As Rag and Famish, a massive lead of the Leeward mark the first time. Final heat of the JJs for 2025. Off camera, there's a capsize. The
18-footer bar and grill.
Okay.
Nice little spike in the pressure here, Pete. Well over 10 knots, probably
There's the boat everyone's
12,
looking at.
13 knots
Yeah,
here.
dude, plenty of pressure. If they want straight legs and bend your backs, this is the breeze. They've got a lot of work to motor through this fleet. But in these conditions, they've proved how good they've been. But they've got to do that today.
They're going to be really happy to see this.
Finport and Rag have absolutely bolted away. Balmain third, but there's the third place Balmain. And right up to windward there is the Rag. Seemed right in on Bradley's.
Looks like he's put a little bit of distance between him and Finport. There's Jacob Marks in 6th. We believe in about 6th place.
Bigfoot, Queensland boat, Dave Hayter, Ben Roxburgh and Elliot Marr. A lot of boats out watching. There's the Waratah, that old steam tug. Getting a great view, but we're halfway up the second beat. Rag leads, Finport second, Balmain third, Yandu buried deep. Can she extract herself out? Finish on top of the point score, who knows?
It looks like that little wave of pressure that we had go through is just not disappearing, but just backing off a little bit now. Both Finport and Rag and Famish now down on angle on starboard tack and still in a good, I'd say, solid 10 knots. But not quite what they had down at the island there. So I think as we progress up the course here, things might just drop down a little bit, but it's just coming through in waves.
As the Westerly does. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Hello to Jeff Stagg in Annapolis, watching again. Hello to you, Staggy. This will be the last time we'll say hello to you on this stream for this year. Rupert Henry over in France. Hello to you, Rup. Getting his Class 40 ready for the big northern summer. He watches avidly, trying to learn a few tricks, I'm sure. But not much you can tell Rupert. He's a pretty good operator, but hello to you. Hope all's going well. But certainly going well is Rag and Famish at the front of the fleet.
Finport tacked over and Rag and Famish about to go. There they go. So onto a nice line of breeze here. They're high on port with more pressure coming.
So these two have jumped right away from the third place boat, Balmain. Good breeze now. You can see the crew's working hard. The Rag right up to weather. Nice cover on the Finport. About 2/3 the way up this second beat. After here we go back to Rose Bay, and then back up here, and then to the finish at Clark Island. So probably about halfway through this race. And we're looking back for Yandu. He's there somewhere, but not as up near the front as we'd expect. Got buried at the start and couldn't get out of the mess. But certainly these two boats have extracted themselves well. Rag and Famish. Harry Price already won a heat. Second yesterday.
Finport will be desperate to try and run down Rag if they can. Every place when we get to the end of this race, every position is going to count.
They're on big sail breezes here, but big sails, but plenty of breeze for your big sail. See Rag just getting a bit of return in their mainsail. Fast ferry going across their bow. They're about 300 or 400 metres downwind of the weather mark. They're up in to the west of Athelbite. And good breeze. There's Yandu. Coming upwind. Kitchen Maker still ahead of him. Funny, you get yourself behind, it's just hard to get back out of it, no matter how much speed you've got. But boy, these blokes have got some speed. You can see some Rag in that mainsail on the Rag. They're really good breeze here, Dole. Best I think we've seen of the race.
Yeah, nice little spike in pressure up here, and it looks like they're going to keep this pressure all the way through to the top mark. Rag and Famish looking really nicely locked in up there. Full swing. They've got the rig flattened out, winged out close to the water, and they're motoring. Good height.
The latest rating from that top mark is 12.5 knots.
It looks more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're fully powered up.
So they're not near a ley line yet, I wouldn't think. Harry's pretty good at this. He'll extend out here, still on port, then port rounding, so he'll get onto the starboard ley line shortly. There's a great shot of these 2 leaders. Rag not far off attack.
Yeah, and they're pretty high on port tack here at the moment, so they'd be hoping for a little bit of a header here, but they're not getting it.
And they'll have to keep going a bit further. Oh, there's plenty of wind on the Finport. This is going to be a good bear away up here too in breeze. There's the Rag. They've got to be close to it.
Yeah,
there they go.
Yeah.
Okay. He's trying to line himself up on this starboard ley line. I'll get a time here. It'll be fairly significant.
They are still low on starboard tack, so they haven't managed to get a shift. For that reason, Finport's continued on. Keegan's just looking at Rag's line there. He'll use that to judge his tack.
Oh, they're tricky breeze, these Westleys. It's up and down. The pressure up for these 2 leaders and hasn't drifted down to the harbour proper yet, or down towards Clark Island. The remainder of the fleet are still not fully wicked.
To your left there, Pete, look at the angle Balmain is sailing.
Very high on port. He's still... so I think Rag are below it here. They haven't hit it because the breeze has gone into the left. So they got 2 more tacks. There's one of them.
And that's why we're seeing Balmain sailing such a high angle. The breeze has gone round to the left pretty hard.
There's a good puff now the Rag are in. And there's good puffs coming down. This will be a good bear away. He's pretty good at it, Harry Price.
Good pressure here right at the mark, Pete. They'll get this kite up and scoot away again.
This will give the spectators something to look at. The big run down to Rose Bay, back to the Leeward mark. No wing mark this time. He's on the ley line. Finport way back now, trying to get onto this ley line. He's well low of it. So breeze has gone left. Okay, well, clocks will be running shortly. Standing by. The Rag leads.
Jimmy, I think I can see why your reading might have been a bit lower than what the wind looked like.
Yep, just there on the screen. The wing gear's been knocked down again.
Okay, the rag's around.
Whoa, bit of a shaky bear away.
It's just puffy up here.
Still not away. Here they go.
Vintage westerly conditions. Straight into it.
Oh, look at that angle.
Yeah, they'll nearly get down in one at that, you'd think. But anyway, it's a long run back into Rose Bay, the Leeward mark. Now we're Yandu out on the left. That's where they'd want to be with this shift. We'll see. We'll get an accurate position on where they are.
That shift in the breeze has really brought Balmain back into the equation here, Pete.
Well, I think they're going to be in second.
It'll be very close, Jimmy, yeah.
Okay, there's Finport of tack, Balmain of tack short. Great job. That left-hander really got them back into the game. They were well behind.
It's actually brought quite a bit of the trailing fleet back in touch, Pete.
So
those who are stood up the harbour a bit further, but those who are closer to Bradley's Head are disadvantaged. I can see Yandu, Pete, big gain to those guys, big gain.
Minute 15, the Delta. So Balmain second, Finport third. So Finport have got to try and get over Balmain at least. Yeah, Yandu are getting back into it. So the Black Knight, he's the one that's bolted. He was way back. He'll be next around because the breeze has gone hard into the left. So Black Knight will be fourth. There's Rag storming away, not laying down to the mark. Black Knight fourth. Yandu starting to make an imprint. He's only got one more beat after this to do. So Black Knight 4, Smeg 5, 6, 6.
Been good to us today. The mighty sixth.
Then Team Victoria in 7th. Okay, Smeg's around now. Team Victoria.
Great race from those guys today. Scotty Cunningham.
He's
next
around. Big Scotty drives her down. Okay.
C-Tech, big move up this work as well, Shippo.
Yes, C-Tech 8 and 9 is Yandu. With the point score we've got, that's enough.
It is enough.
Anyway, he's got to stay there. And Wealth, he's got in front of Wealth. Wealth will be 10th. Okay, Yandu around. They'll be fighting hard, these boys now. Yandu to keep motoring up the position line. Wealth around by Kobe. And there's Finport and Balmain. Second and third here, or third and second. They're so close. It's got light again. Ugh. See in the distance. Boats are all bow up now. That puff they had is dissipated. Team Macarana around after Kobe. Then the Bigfoot. Then Marine Outlet.
Just come back to Yandu and
Breeze a long way round in the left, but softening.
Well, the live count is unofficial, provisional, whatever way you want to look at it. Yandu 24, Finport 27.
That's correct.
So, please don't take it as official. We're doing our best, but we think that's the case.
Getting our information from an anonymous source, watching vividly on the screen.
Does he live in Western Australia?
No, mate, he lives down, let's say down near George's Riverway.
Who likes to do scoring?
Loves scoring?
Yeah, loves scoring. G'day, J.A. Thank you.
Okay, it's light again. They've ridden that puff and then it's gone down the harbour and left them. You can see ahead of Yandu. 6th, they've got a beauty coming out of Double Bay. Yandu haven't got it yet. They bow up looking for this pressure. So
Birthday boy
with Black Knight ahead of him. Boy, this is nervous times for Yandu. They're just hanging in by their fingernails, but they're climbing up the wall. C-Tech, top New Zealander. He's
unfortunately lifting, bow up, not getting depth.
Way in the distance. The Rag is jibing downwind, so it's turned out a VMG run.
Just in the distance there, it looks like Balmain still holding Finport off.
They've jumped up well in front of Finport. Finport going out on Port Jibe. Rag approaching the Leeward mark. I think he's round. Is he round? No, he's all but round, Rag. Way in the distance in Rose Bay. We'll see when he goes round very soon. Off camera.
There he goes.
Round now. Okay, the clock's running. Rag leads. The Black Knight running into towards Point Pine Mark. Black Knight is 4th. He's done very well.
Yeah, they have done well, haven't they?
He was deep early.
He didn't have a bad first beat, but then he dropped off.
Yeah, he's going out on Port now in the distance. See Rag coming upwind. Balmain clearly second. Just jibing now to go into the mark. It's Henry Larkins. Oh, they got a toughie here.
Oh, a bit of a luffing duel. Oh, they had to get out of the way of Rag and Famish. They were the windward boat there, Balmain.
Oh, that's costly.
Almost looked like there might have been contact.
That's costly. They've got a couple more jibes here left. Balmain. They misjudged that, Balmain. Oh, they're going to run square. This is the ugly manoeuvre here. No, they've got it done okay. Port rounding, don't forget. Finport will get round in front of them.
Yeah, Henry's going to do a turn here.
Yeah.
Just doing a penalty turn, realising he'd infringed.
So a minute 25 was the delta, but Rag are in front. Balmain going round in 3rd after a penalty turn. They just got a big chicken winged up with Finport and Rag then. But Rag's away for the final beat up to Caraba Point, the windward mark, round that on to Port and then to the finish in the vicinity of Clark Island. Where is Yandu? The question everyone is asking.
There they are on screen, Shippo.
They're doing enough.
Just,
yep.
Breeze is down again here. It's about 8 knots. See how slow they are, these boats here under Spinnaker. So the Black Knight is 4th at the Rag, Finport, Balmain, so 4 around.
I think the 6 is going to move up to 5th, Pete.
Yeah, he will be 5th. Smeg's 6th.
Don't worry about it, Rag. Yes,
Oh, light.
too far away.
Yeah, once again, this breeze has softened off again. Doesn't really help these trailing boats under Spinnaker because they're running big angles, having to sail for more distance. Looks like Yander's just jibed on a nice little gust that might almost bring them down to the mark here.
Okay, so 6th is 5th, Smeg is 6th.
no blah blah.
Yep, just stick with me.
Victorians will be next, Pete.
Yandu getting a good down
They are.
pressure. puff here. They're going to be close to our C-Tech friends. We've got a beauty here. So if Yandu got barreling down, Victoria round the leeward mark with not much pressure. He's going to be close here. Yandu.
Jibe drop inside.
Jibe drop on the inside. Louis break under pressure. Handling it beautifully. Well done. Okay, so they are through to 8th. Oh, C-Tagger got trouble.
Another nice little line of pressure coming now.
Yeah. So there's 2 just ahead of Yandu that will be certainly in their sights. C-Tech's still got problem with those Spinnaker.
Halyard's caught up at the hounds.
Yeah.
It's coming down.
Slowly, okay,
Here we go.
C-Tech just getting the Spinnaker down. It's good breeze again. Vintage Wesley comes and goes, welts around. They will be 10th, then by Kobe. Gee, there's some light spots looking upwind here, Dol.
It's very patchy again. So it'll be a matter of finding that pathway up through the pressure.
The breeze looks in the left too.
I just caught a glimpse of Rag and Famish
way down,
way down on starboard tack and in low pressure. As I said earlier, you can never count this race being over.
No.
Anything can happen.
So it's the final beat. We're up to Carrabba Point. Then the reach to the finish. Well, in this breeze it is at the moment, but so Yandu are in front of C-Tech as they were at the leeward mark. Next in their sights will be Team Victoria, and it's getting lighter and lighter.
It's the Balmain boys just scooting out on port tack, just getting across the harbour looking for some breeze to come back on.
Yandu went out on starboard and went now back on port, and Team Victoria, who were just in front of them, tacked and very light air. So Yandu boys wanting the right, I think. They think that's where the breeze is, and that's probably correct decision at the moment. Still struggling for pressure, the whole fleet.
Keegan York went the furthest right early, looking for a shift, looking for breeze, and at the moment he doesn't have much of either. Yandu there now, the same thing, not a lot of breeze, but they are still just managing to hold 3 strings.
All the fleet going right at the moment, but Victoria and Smeg, who are just ahead of Yandu, have got a bit more pressure out to the left, up on their hip, as has Sixt.
There's Finport on screen with Rag and Famish over near Bradley's head.
And that deficit, Finport still very, very light.
Cross coming up here between Balmain and Finport.
Balmain are ahead still. Well, not still, they were behind at the leeward mark.
Yep, they did their
And
penalty
it's gone
turn there.
light. Ah, dear, this breeze has collapsed again.
Cloud in the west starting to look a bit ominous, certainly having an influence.
This is like it was at the start. It's probably 5 to 6 knots. Balmain have tacked. You can see the crew just sitting on the wing, just extending now. But boat that's got most breeze is Rag and also Finport. Now Balmain getting a bit of a go on. There's the 3. Rag top, Rag and Famish. Balmain in the middle. Finport to leeward.
Gee, they had to really suffer to get to this little bit of pressure though. And looking further up course, it's not looking too good up there towards the top mark at the moment.
They're only about halfway up the final beat of this final heat. And it's very light again. See the weather mark up there. We get a reading, Jimmy. Oh, that weather stick's broken, is it, on the weather mark?
It's not broken. It's just laid over, so
over.
it's not exactly 100% accurate, but it's saying 6 knots up there at the moment. So maybe make it 8.
Yeah.
We'll call it 8, Jimmy, because it's having a little lie down.
I'd like a little lie down after this week.
That's a deficit between Balmain and Finport. They've probably closed up just a fraction on the Rag and Famish. All these boats heading over towards Clark Island at the moment.
Look at the difference here. Balmain's 10, 15 degrees higher. Finport just getting in the pressure and the lift now. The breeze is going. There's breeze at Clark Island where Rag's going. I think he's trying to join that, get into that puff.
Yeah, there is a line of breeze up there,
and it looks left-handed. I don't know what it looks like. Hard to say. You can see the puff in front of him. He's got good pressure, just a few bent knees there. Finn just adjusting the dupe trim. Just come into more pressure.
Yeah, I think when they get there, they probably will tack onto this line. They're probably not too far off it.
They get a left-hander, they'll be right on a lay here. Would be looking at it, I think, Harry. No, he's just bow up again. Doesn't want to see that. But there is pressure now. It's probably about 7 or 8 knots. There he goes.
Both Finport and Balmain have also tacked.
Rag's almost going back to where he came from. But he's getting into more pressure. That's the good news for Rag.
Just line this up to me and you get Yandu in the shot.
There's Yandu. He's starting to wriggle his way up. He's got a lot of wriggling to do. There's Yandu.
Little game to Keegan there on Finport. Unfortunately for Balmain, they had to dip behind a cruising yacht who weren't racing. They could have been a little bit kinder, but that's the way it goes.
So we're over halfway up the final beat of the final race of the championship. Rag and Famish in the lead. Ooh, there's the sight. Looking back, Yandu looks quite high on port there.
Yeah, the comparative angle of the two tacks that we've just sailed, starboard over to the southern side, and then now we're heading back to the western shore. They're nearly sailing back over their own tracks.
And there's a bit more breeze coming down from the weather mark.
Rag and Famish really falling down onto the line of Balmain and Finport.
They're going to come into good pressure. Maybe that's what Harry's looking for. He's certainly got enough up his sleeve at the moment. But you never say it's over, especially in a westerly. It's get a bit lighter again. You see some adjustments going on. There's the Black Knight. He's gone way into the left. And he's high. It's double bays right in on Clark Island.
He's a fair way behind. There we are looking into the cockpit of the Rag. Well, down pressure a little bit at the moment. And just trailing behind, almost on the same line as Balmain and Finport.
Good battle for second.
Finport definitely closed the gauge there the last couple of minutes.
He looks a little bit quicker there, Finport.
Just marching through to Leeward.
Yeah.
Very important to change gears.
Yeah, and it's very important for Finport to get past Balmain. Try and give themselves every possibility.
So that's the western side of Bradley's Head. They're going along into Athelbite. And the Rag clearly ahead by over a minute, I would think. Going right out into the right-hand side, trying to get close to a starboard ley line.
Just behind Finport, we'll just pan out. You'll see Yandu in the background in a moment. There they are.
He's getting closer.
Really closed in on them now.
Anyway, Finport has tacked. Oh, yeah, Balmain nicely ahead here. Yandu has tacked. And off camera, the Rag, the race leader, has tacked in very light pressure. He's bobbing up and down at the moment.
Tacked and parked. No one on wire.
Yeah, welcome to a westerly.
No one on wire and heading.
Ugh.
So on a huge knock there with no pressure.
Okay, we'll see him in a moment, the Rag.
There's the broader shot. You can see Balmain there, Finport.
Oh, they're way below the ley line. Boy, again, they're almost going back from whence they came.
The last three tacks, the angles have been unbelievable. And hence why Yandu have managed to close in.
Where's our friend in the Black Knight who went out to the left? Has he jagged something?
Still down towards Clark Island.
No, he's coming up on a good
there he is.
high
He's on
port.
Yeah, he is.
Just got a police vessel towing a broken down boat through the fleet just behind the Rag and Famish there, Shippo. So,
Righto, okay.
Might get in Keegan's way here on the Finport, although he'll probably just slip behind them.
Oh boy, oh boy, look at it now. It is super light once again. For those people that have never sailed on Sydney Harbour, we can't say it often enough, and we have how tricky a westerly is on the harbour, especially late in the year like it is. In early autumn, it is tricky. It comes and goes. Direction is unstable, strength unstable, and you've just seen that on this fleet. Massive tacking angles now.
Flags on the harbour bridge have ticked around to the right a bit again now.
They have, and they're flying pretty nicely up there, but as I say often, Dol, we're not up there.
Unfortunately,
No,
that's fairly high.
Oh, look at Rag. They're all slowed down.
Those flags a long way round to
Into the right,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
So something coming? Who knows? But better come quickly because the race is nearly over.
Final leg. The decider.
So this run's going to be tricky also in those light air. So that's the mark. Rag under the lay, but there's a bit of breeze coming. Look at this, another puff here coming out of Kirribilli.
Yeah, and that's the breeze we could see, I think.
This might lift him up here, Rag. Oh, no, he's well under the lay line.
Yeah, but
there's the top three, and there's Yandu. Top, middle, there's Finport.
Does look like right-hand pressure, though. So it should favour the boat furthest to the right, which at the moment is Rag and Famish.
And Black Knight's close. He's a close fourth, I'd say. And we've got a Manly Ferry coming up the middle of the course. He will probably get through before the boats go downwind to the finish. If he puts the wick down, he will. Oh, there's breeze in the right, and that's where Yandu's going. Yandu has got himself up into about...
maybe fifth
or sixth. Oh, would have been some nerves on that boat. But anyway, let's concentrate on the race leader, the Rag. Who's that? Smeg and sixth.
Rag just picking up that little bit of right-hand shift now. It'll just get him to the mark.
He'll be in squeeze mode.
He might straighten up the wind gear for you, Jimmy.
Yeah. And there's breeze coming down from the harbour bridge, so on the final run, and the ferry needs to be taken account of. And I think Harry pulled away enough. He will see the ferry. He's looking around for the breeze.
He should run behind it easily.
The ferry now, yeah.
Easily, I think.
Ferry is tooting the horn. This is close. Finport's. Okay, there's Smeg and Yandu. Okay, Finport second in a beauty.
Big gust.
And Rag's got nothing.
Rag is parked.
Oh.
Very puffy here. You can just feel
Breeze
these.
just about to get to him. It's coming through the camera cat as we
Yeah.
speak.
Massive breeze coming through down
And it's
the
hot.
course.
Very hot in the
Hasn't
wind.
got to just getting to Rag. Finport
Get that kite
just getting
set.
out. Where did Balmain end up out of that? They're throwing Mainsel at it. They're
Look at the
overcooked.
pressure. Look at the pressure they're in
Yeah,
now.
and who's laying up to get into fourth?
Here
is
comes the Yandu.
Boy, oh boy, what a recovery. Oh no, he's fifth. The Black Knight will be round in front of him. Okay, in a good squall, Balmain third. Henry Larkins, hang on to it, boys. Good puff. Then Heinrich, the Black Knight. Squeeze mode is Yandu. No, they're laying. Round inside Smeg.
Got a few spectator cruise boats heading our way, but it looks like they're going to behave.
No, they're not. They've got
They
six
just got
in the
six
background.
in the
way. Yeah.
There's the idiot of the day. That's
Just in the back of shot there.
He gets the Daily Kumquat Award, that fool in a blue speedboat. Should be banned from the harbour. Get his number and ban him. Okay, Rag's on his way to the finish. Can he hold off Finport? It looks pretty strong for Harry Price. Max Paul and Finn Rodowitz. They're bound for home. Yandu, fifth. It'll be enough.
Finport in second, Yandu in fifth.
Balmain trying to hold off the Black Knight for third.
I'll tell you what, though, Pete, Finport is
Finport's having
running
a
down.
go at him. He's
They
having
are
a real
running
go
him
at
down.
him. He's getting high though, Keegan. He's got the island in front of him. Where's the finishing lines? Down to Leeward. Where is it? Are they laying the line? No.
No, down to Leeward of them at the moment, Shippo.
Yeah, they got a couple of
One more
drives to
drives.
do.
Okay, it's close, but still advantage Rag. Rag just getting their nose around the front of Finport. Just hidden now by Finport, but they have got a good advantage. See them in a moment. There they are. So both boats will. Where's that committee boat, Jimmy? To the.
Round the corner, Shippo.
Oh, it's round the corner.
Can't go over the island.
Okay, they've both got a jibe.
Rag jibes.
Okay, Finport's going with him. Yeah, no, look, Rag's comfortably ahead, but you're never comfortable in a westerly. Oh, down here. Okay, Rag's on his way now, finishing boat down off the western end of Point Piper. The final heat of the championship is going to belong to Rag and Famish. On this very hot, steamy, tricky day on the harbour. The 2025 championship is coming to a close. The final heat looks like it's going to Rag and Famish. Do our best for the point score. Okay, the Rag jibing now. Where's the other one? Okay, he's got about 20 metres to go. The Rag is there almost. He is there. Rag wins the final heat. Outstanding performance. Got a great start. He basically led from go to woe.
Here comes the
Harry
Finport next in.
Finport second. Keegan York, Mr. Consistency. Except that wobble yesterday. Finport second. Oh, Yandu's gone high into Clark Island and run out of breeze.
I think Smeg drove him up in there, Pete.
Oh, Nathan McNamara. Oh, okay, Balmain will get third, I think. Finishes off a good regatta for those boys.
Yeah, great work from the Balmain team today.
Black Knight 4. That'll please their coach, Baz Atkins. He's only their coach when they do well, I think, isn't he, Baz? Is that right?
I walked into the Double Bay Sailing Club and he had him sit down like at school.
Righto. Fifth, Smeg. Great regatta for Nathan McNamara. Smeg.
Yeah. Yandu coming in hot.
But Smeg's got him. Smeg 5, Yandu 6. That's a very good recovery. Very good recovery.
A little unusual the way that we've got the pin at the starboard end and the boat at the port end. I was a bit worried the boats weren't going to see where with all the spectator boats, weren't going to see where the pin end was.
They're looking around on Yandu. I think they're probably wondering what's going on with protests and redresses and.
Yeah, they're not really celebrating just yet.
I'm getting messages that there's a few things still to unfold, but anyway, as far as we know, who's after them? Who's after Yandu? We got anyone finishing yet?
Yeah, 6th.
6th is 7th. Nice job for the birthday boy. Nice way to finish that regatta. And then we've got a bit of a gap.
There's the boys, just a couple of fist pumps. Surprisingly, I mean,
I think
Fang's always the coolest cucumber in the park. He's certainly not looking that excited right now.
It's, I'm sure, well, I'm not sure of anything really, but because of whether there's still protest to be heard or to be reopened, well, I can tell you on our point score that Yandu finishing in 6th spot will go to 21. Finport with 2 will go to 26. So it's 5 points to differential. You don't know, Chits, you don't know. There's a lot to play out, Chits.
We'll get the shot regardless. Come on, Fang, fire up, mate. Fire up.
Okay, who's anyone else to still come over the line while we're concentrating on?
I'm just trying to see who it is, mate. C-Tech will be the next in, followed by Akarana and Marine Outlet.
Akarana in 9th, and the Marine Outlet got himself back into 10th. Starting to get a few smiles now on the Yandu boys.
Yeah, it's still going through the fleet, I think.
Boy, that was hard on the mouth stuff for Yandu. Dead and buried after the start. They had to come from a long way back.
Early on it wasn't looking fantastic, but they got there in the end.
By Kobe across the line, Marine Outlet across the line, then Team Victoria Peak.
Okay, so 31. C-Tech, where did they end up in all of that? C-Tech were 8th.
Well, there's something else, John.
So our calculations, we've got Yandu 21 points, Finport 26, Rags 31.
Yeah.
So we're getting that from Pythagoras and also from myself. So
you actually had it right, Pete. I'm impressed.
Oh, well, you know, pay the big bucks, you get the right result. So
you can put your abacus away now.
C-Tech 8 will get to 47. ASC and Smeg 5th. 47.4. No, 49. Black Knight.
Keegan York just yelling out to us saying they looked very deep.
And we said they were. They were, but they came back.
So by our unofficial calculations, I have Yandu first on 21, Finport second 26, Rag, today's winner, 31. And then C-Tech will be 4th, the New Zealanders. And then 5th will be Smeg. And next will be probably the Black Knight. And then Balmain, probably 7th. But, as I say, unofficial, provisional.
Yeah, little disclaimer, when we left the beach there was still appeals, protest appeals to be heard. So hadn't been decided when we left, so...
I think we'll see where they put the ribbon, and that might tell us who won.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, yeah. We need all the help we can get here.
Seeing some of the other boats just straggle in there. We've got Bigfoot following in behind Lazarus, and Emma Rankin in Shore and Partners will be the next one.
Yeah,
That's her
she
jibing just now.
Didn't have a great day today, Emma. But
Yeah, and I was really hoping for her in the handicap, Pete. We'll see how they go, but Smeg had a good day, so
they might win the handicap.
They might get the handicap, I think. Nathan McNamara.
But here's the wind in again. Surprise, surprise. So it's all over. That is for sure. Still a few boats to come across the line. So we're looking at Shore and Partners now. After them is Honda. Is there any more? There's a few we're missing. The Bigfoot's across. Lazarus across.
Yeah, I think we're missing like 18 footers. Gotcha for life.
Well, the 18s we saw take a tumble. There's Honda next.
We haven't seen Beck Hancock in Noakes yet.
Someone popping around the side of Clark
Honda
Island.
Marine.
That's Honda Marine. Then a White Spinnaker belongs to.
That looks like Skiff Rope's Rockstar.
There's a couple come on. There's a few boats up there. We can see on the overhead shot.
Yeah.
We're just a bit obscured by Clark Island. The breeze has gone light again. Yeah, the Skiff Rope's Rockstar. Oh, you can just see Honda drifting across the line.
They'll get across, and we've got Skiff Rope's Rockstar and...
where's the Burrowang? We haven't seen the Burrowang. Red Spinnaker right up the windward mark probably belongs to Noakes, I think.
No, Noakes got a blue Spinnaker.
Oh, blue today, okay. The red, who knows what that is.
Might be the Hopeful House.
Hopeful House, okay.
Yes, that's who it'd be.
Well, I hope they make the time limit. The breezes drop right off here.
The black Spinnaker is Goat Marine, I think.
Yep.
Back on the Yandu boys there.
Boy, it's hot here in Sydney at the moment. Hot westerly, water temperature up, land temperature up. But let's look at this Yandu boat and crew. This is the boat that won the championship last year with the same crew, Louis Brake and Fang Warren. And the skipper was Micah Lane. But this year it's young Tom Needham, the 23-year-old, born in the UK, grew up in Queensland. Queensland Youth Sailor of the Year in 2018, Male Sailor of the Year in 2022. He's a hydraulic engineer for Sail GP. He's got a mechanical and aerospace engineering degree, so he's a smart cookie as well as a very smart sailor. Louis Brake, also from Brisbane. His parents Lisa and David here today. He started sailing in Sabos as an 8-year-old. He'd be a bit big for Sabos these days on the Brisbane River. 2011, he was a member of the Australian Youth Sailing Team in 29ers. 3 years as Australian squad member, racing 49ers. Also raced fins. He was the podium position in the 2018 Australian Fin Championship. Raced on Celestial in the 2024 Sydney Hobart race victory. And Fang Warren, well, he's put this campaign together. He's worked hard on the sails with Michael Carter and Nick Daly and the team out of France, Incidents France, to get these sails pretty formidable. And we saw today that when they had to dig deep, they really dug deep.
Fang is very much the glue that holds that team together. Everything that happens, Fang's in the middle of the boat, and he's in the middle of everything that happens.
Well, his parents, Jeremy and Libby, are over from Perth, and his dad was very nervous this morning. I said, just relax, let them do their work and they'll be fine. The ribbon about to be placed by Jeremy Whitty and Doug Cameron, who for years were the starters for the 18s. They stood down this year. They'd had enough after yeoman service, And it's a great tribute to Doug on the left there and Jeremy on the white.
Other side, Jeremy.
That they can put the ribbon on the boat's a fine tribute and a thank you for yeoman's service that they've done. But they're just trying to wait for Yandu to come in. It's windy here and Yandu trying to line it all up. But for Tom Needham, Louis Brake and Fang Warren, a really outstanding regatta. Today, really, their heart was in their mouth, I'm sure. But to win 6 of the 9 races.
And typically, just as the boys on the Yandu are trying to get into the back of the spectator ferry to the rib to pick up the ribbon, the breeze has spiked up and it's making it very difficult.
So there's the ferry, big crew at the back of the ferry. See a few ex-18-footer blokes there. Dave Porter's there, Steamer Stanley, Bobby Joy, Donnie Buckley, the Admiral who won multiple titles with Ian Murray. They're all there. They're just trying to manoeuvre. It's not easy, let me tell you. Trying to get this 18-footer into this rib to get the ribbon on. They've thrown it. Jeremy's throwing the ribbon to them. Don't make sure you let it go.
They've got it.
They've got it. Worthy champions for the second time, 2 years. This boat has won the JJs, the ultimate prize in 18-foot skiff racing. They've got hold of the boat now. Now they're secure. Bottle of champagne going aboard. I'd say an hour and a half ago they weren't as happy as they are now, that's for sure. But this good crew wriggle their way up towards the front. And at the end, they finished in 6th position, which was enough to give them this coveted title. And they join, well, Tom Needham, one of the youngest skippers ever to win the JJs, joins a formidable list of famous names that have won this title. From the New Zealanders to the Americans to the Australians, he joins that list now.
Up it goes. Looks like they've had a good hoist on the ribbon.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, no, it's caught up in the trapeze wise.
I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for that.
Very rarely it gets up clean.
Yeah. Of course, the boat owned by John Winning, Woody, unable to sail this year. Reckons he might be back next year, but this boat's pretty quick. Who knows, if he jumps in here, he'll they could win 3 in a row.
That's the whistle of the Lady
Hampton.
The
Woody's out on that.
On that with Pactoon Show. And
the Prince
is out there as well.
Prince of Bavaria. Well, they had a good day. The Prince's son, they were 4th. So the day belonged to Rag, the series, of course, to Yandu. There they go to sailing. There's the Lady Hope, that famous boat that used to be the pride and joy of the Sydney Maritime Fleet. Used to be owned by the boss of the Maritime Services Board as their official vessel. It's now part of the Heritage Fleet.
And there on the bow is Woody.
You can see him there. I think you can see a red shirt. That's probably him.
Beside the red shirt.
Yeah, he's got a Yandu shirt.
I think he's even cracking a smile, Woody.
Yeah, well, you're pretty happy with that performance.
Cheeky grin.
Yeah.
There he is. Blue.
Up, Woody.
Yeah, there he is.
One more.
Done so much for this 18-foot movement, and I'm sure he's absolutely thrilled, as you would be with the performance for Yandu. So we're winding to an end of the series. We're winding to the end of the year as the last boat's coming home now. Who we got here? We got
Noakes
and
Alan.
Alan and
18.
Gotcha for life. And
18-footers.
18-footers. Anyone else behind them? I haven't seen the Burrowing. Anyway, Noakes.
Burrowing have gone through.
Oh, they've gone. We
already,
missed them. Okay.
Yeah.
Apologies, Simon Nern. He's in front of this group. So Noakes, then Alan from GB, Great Britain. Oh, Gotcha for life. Don't do it now, boys.
I didn't get to mention earlier too. James Glassick was Berger's replacement.
That's right.
Today they've slowly been wearing the crew out on the Gotcha for Life, but well done, James, on the 18 today.
Well,
you want to try to just ask about the Kiwi.
just the last boat, 18-footer bar and restaurant coming across the line now. I think that's it, isn't it, Jimmy?
That's as
far as
far
finishes,
as
is it?
Blue
Oh, no.
Spinnaker, which is Noakes.
Oh, okay. Beck Hancock's still to finish.
Wow, what's she doing up there? Okay. Well, just as we finish up, we'd like to say hello to Sue Ellen Hurling from New Zealand, from Live Sail Die. What did you make of the regatta, Sue Ellen?
Oh, well, first of all, I'd like to say a massive thank you to the Australian 18-foot skiff league for putting on another fantastic regatta. We definitely do love coming over here, but what we don't love is finishing outside the podium.
No, well, they had their moments, the New Zealand boys, but it's difficult here on the harbour. It's difficult for the locals, let alone those from overseas. But it looks as though SeaTech will finish 4th overall, and that's a pretty good performance in this quality fleet.
Oh, absolutely. Look, SeaTech will be happy with that, but what is really disappointing is that young team, ASCC, Eli, Adam and Josh. They have absolutely given it their all over the last sort of 18 months to 2 years. They have been training really hard. It is a shame that they just struggled with those last 2 races with some damage, but I say to you guys right now, you keep an eye out for these boys in the future. They will be back, and you'll be saying their names a hell of a lot more on your live stream.
Well, we hope so. It'll be great. It's always great to have our New Zealand friends here. How strong's the class in New Zealand at the moment?
Okay, apparently we've lost microphones
Sorry
here.
about that, everyone.
What's this equipment failure at the end of the whole thing?
Well, it's tired like us. It's tired.
I'm just going to repeat that because just the ASCC boys, Eli, Adam and Josh, they really have given it their all over the last 2 years. They finished 6th last year. They've had some tough races this year, but I guarantee they will be back, and they are names that you will be talking about in the future, and they're definitely going to be giving Ginge and SeaTech a run for his money. He might be the old boy with experience, but these young bucks are coming up through the ranks.
And how strong's the New Zealand fleet?
Well, look, this is the first time we've had to run trials. We had 5 boats in a trial series, and the top 4 got to go into the container to come over here to Sydney. So we've got other teams lining up. This regatta and your live stream does help that. I've been fielding messages all week for sailors who are keen to join the New Zealand fleet. So what we need to do now is get you guys in a container and come over to a regatta on the Waitemata Harbour.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? We'll come over and do a bit of live streaming. It'd be nice. We can get the camera cut across the ocean. We'll be there, that's for sure. I don't know whether we will, but I'm not going to be on it.
I'll go on a ship, Shippo.
I'm not going to be on it.
we just also want to do a massive shout out to Graham and Anne Catley as well. They are the reason that we've got a New Zealand fleet at the moment. You guys have got Woody in Sydney. We've got GC and Anne in Auckland. And to be honest, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Thanks, Sue Ellen. You're always welcome. It's lovely to see you here, and look forward to your company, I assume, next year for the 2026 JJs. So we will start to say goodbye from Sydney Harbour for the final time for the season 2024-2025. We've seen Yandu successfully defend their title with different skippers but the same crew. Mick Elaine last year and the outstanding Tom Needham this year. Had a few nervous moments today, but overall, to win 6 heats is an outstanding performance. So, to them, well done. Now I'd like to thank everyone from Sail Media who, throughout the year, have worked tirelessly to bring this broadcast and stream to you. I know it's hard work. You really don't realise how hard it is. These boys work behind the scenes to get the pictures to you. We've got Piers Hasgard on our camera. He's been on the drone for the last few days. Tireless effort. We've had Dylan Clark for most of the year on the drone. He's away with Sail GP at the moment, so he always gives us outstanding performance there, Dylan. We've got Jono Whitty has stood in at times for Dylan, and he's here today on the cameras while Piers is on the drone. Sam Brasher, who tirelessly is the drone spotter and catcher, and gets the drinks. So Sam, well done to you. Behind the scenes, Chits, Michael Giltinan, outstanding performance. It's extraordinary the work he does. I think next year we've decided to put him on a microphone so you can really see how upset he gets, screaming and yelling at us, but fortunately you don't hear it. But anyway, Chits, to you, a massive congratulations and thanks for the pictures you bring us and the production you bring us. It's absolutely world class, and you can see that from the comments that we get week after week from all our viewers. And to you viewers, thank you. I mention you a lot. I probably missed some, but we cannot thank you enough. It really makes us proud to hear all the comments, and they're all very favourable. I'm sure there's a few that are not so favourable, but the favourable ones far outweigh the unfavourable ones. So thank you worldwide to all you people. To Dolly Davala, Dolly's been great working with you, insightful commentary, pick up all the little nuances of what's going on, why they're fast and why they're slow. So thank you. And lastly, to our skipper, Jimmy Bury. If you knew how hard it was to get this boat around the harbour on any day, it's a marvellous performance by Jimmy. He not only steers the boat, he does some commentary, he picks the course, he picks the marks, he's our eyes and ears, and it's a phenomenal performance, and he gets us in the right position. And these pictures that you see are really brought to you by the positioning that Jimmy does of the camera cat. So to Jimmy, outstanding performance from you. So I think it's time to say goodbye, and we're back, I think, in October 2025. We'll all go home and have a good sleep, and we'll say a farewell from Sydney Harbour, and thank you to everyone on the boat, our watchers, our sailors also. They've got to be thanked for making it a regatta day after day, week after week, that has been outstanding, that allows us to give you good commentary. So thank you, goodbye, and we'll see you next season.